English Premier League, we will be having an Enter to Win promotion where we'll be looking to send 2 persons to the EPL finals. So I would say stay tuned to Guinness Caribbean for more information on how you can enter to be one of those lucky persons who will be going to the EPL finals.
Music not gonna stop, Red Stripe won't stop either. So we'll continue to support music, continue to support Jamaican culture. Look out for us, follow us on social media at Red Stripe, and we'll keep you up to date on what's happening.
The internationally acclaimed On Stage with Winfred Williams.
At a new time, Saturdays at 8 p.m. on CVM TV.
So much more than entertainment.
Come rise with sunrise. Mondays are for those with a mission. We begin with a trip to France. Oui. Then it's a beginner's guide to cryptocurrency in Money Masterclass. We're off to the field for your JPL preview. Stick around, we're called to the bar in Law and Order. Then we change the pace for Bartender Week. You've never seen a sunrise quite like this.
You can open a Sagicor Bank savings account from anywhere. Go online and open yours today.
The time by Sagicor Bank is
7 o'clock. Tonight in CVM News at 7, operations at the Norman Mann International Airport resume after fire. Water woes plague Clarendon. NWC pledges support. Councillor steams over alleged Bogue land promises. As usual, we have Inspire Jamaica. And in sports, JAAA names 22-member squad for World Athletics Indoor Championships. Hello from Kingston, Jamaica. This is CVM News at 7, the weekend edition. It's a Saturday, March 15, 2025. I'm Curlin Brown. Thanks so much for joining us. Operations at the Norman Mann International Airport have resumed following the chaos after a fire on Friday evening. With more, here's Courtney Lewis.
Cell phone footage circulating on social media captured heavy smoke from a fire in a lounge at the Norman Manley International Airport on Friday evening. Emergency protocols caused the evacuation of hundreds of passengers and staff. Travel activities were also delayed as firefighters sought to contain the blaze. Transport Minister Darrell Vaz gave an update last evening.
I can confirm after speaking to the Commissioner of the Fire Brigade at 7:45 p.m. that the fire has been contained to the area that it started, which is in the VIP Club Kingston, in the departure lounge. And we can say at this point that there is no major damage and that we expect that in short order, we will be able to resume normality at the airport. There is an issue of smoke that has penetrated the AC system. So there is smoke in a number of areas in the departure lounge. We're venting that out now, and hopefully in short order, we will resume normality.
At least one flight to the Kingston airport and 3 flights out remained grounded, but the fire incident was not too severe.
There's one flight that is still affected, British Airways, incoming flight from London, and hopefully we'll be able to land it and turn it around with a slight delay. No injuries reported to this point, and no major damage to the facility at the Norman Manley International Airport.
The Airports Authority of Jamaica president said the airport management team did a walkthrough of the terminal to determine the facility's readiness for reopening. Normalcy was soon resumed. As Saturday, the operator's PAC Kingston Airport Limited advised operations resumed with an investigation launched into the incident. The company expressed gratitude to local emergency services, passengers, and stakeholders, noting their cooperation was instrumental in the ability to restore operations quickly and safely. Courtney Lewis for CVM News.
Deputy Mayor of Kingston, Delroy Williams, says he's not pleased with comments made by the Mayor, Andrew Swaby, regarding the efforts put in by his previous administration. Adrian Williams reports the Deputy Mayor says it's unfair.
Mayor of Kingston, Andrew Swaby, has been slammed by Deputy Mayor Delroy Williams for comments he believes are rather disingenuous. At the Kingston and St. Andrew Municipal Corporation, KSAMC's council meeting recently, Swaby exhorted his confidence and quality of work now at the 1-year mark.
Councillor Senior will not clap this time, but the other reason why I'm standing is because today marks 1 year of my leadership of the council. I'm proud of the progress we have made in delivering real change. When I took office, I promised to restore participatory governance, transparency, and efficiency. And it's because people believe in the KSAMC why reputable people are now logging on to the KSAMC.
But Williams is not having it.
As an elected local government representative, I have never heard such vulgar display of dishonesty. And the reason why I say that, for you to compare your 1 year as mayor, for you to compare that to 7 years of the administration that I led, I find quite. It's dishonest, it is vulgar.
The Deputy Mayor is putting forward that many developments have taken place under his leadership, including the welcoming murals and aesthetic upliftment of downtown Kingston.
I see it as an attack on our culture and an affront to our cultural icons. We built on what Dr. Angela Brown Burke left and their contribution to the office and to the city. And I would expect that our current mayor and the administration would take that approach to build on what we have left and to continue to work for the transformation of the city and the repositioning of Kingston as a destination city.
Adrian Williams for CVM News.
Chairman of the St. James Municipal Corporation and Mayor of Montego Bay, Councillor Richard Vernon, was called upon to make a call on a matter of protocol during the week's council meeting. When Councillor Charles Sinclair stood indicating he would be commenting on the long-standing Boagland saga, he asked if it was appropriate for Councillor Martin Kelly to stay, citing a conflict of interest based on what he says was a ruling agreed on by the council.
Well, with Councillor Kellier's back now turned, Councillor Sinclair made reference to media reports of a meeting unrelated to the council, where some persons, he says, are occupants of the land, were allegedly present, as was his colleague councillor.
It would appear from what I was reported in the public media that there was this promise, commitment, don't know how it originated, that in the event of certain things happening, there was going to be some almost giveaway of this property. Well, I would want to see it done, because you know what? It would run contrary to the Commission of Inquiry report. It would run contrary to the Integrity Commission's report. It would run contrary to the interests and benefit of the people of St. James, because they would be losing their value in this property.
Councillor Sinclair went further.
What is so upsetting to me about it is that we at the Municipal Corporation, we have done the subdivision. We have engaged legal services in order to deal with persons who are there to get to the stage of contract and to deal with what the Integrity Commission directed, the Commission of Inquiry directed. And then, we're not moving off anybody. They are saying deal with these persons.
This is how he described those on the receiving end.
The people who are there, I don't know, poor people, it's not like the people who live in certain communities and them may go capture because they want to find a place to occupy. I describe these persons as Rolls-Royce capturers, like Bentley, people with money and deep pocket.
Oh, okay, I get you.
And when you look, Mr. Chairman, and what some of those Rolls-Royce capturers have done, they have built 3-story plaza. They have built significant structures out there. There is one that is operating a hardware that supply hardware everywhere. It is not people looking a place to live. Significant business operators, but strange enough, persons who are connected.
Manchester Commanding Officer DSP Kerry Duncan pledges to lift the curfew in Porus only if the area remains crime-free. He says the police recognizes the impact of the crime reduction strategy on local businesses and is offering an alternative to residents.
No, the curfews have been a little bit strenuous on you economically. We know that. And we certainly do not wish to continue for you to bear the economic burden of not being able to operate your businesses. So as a team here, I am committing to say to you that come Monday, when this curfew is expired, I as the commander won't be asking for an extension of these curfews, but I'm asking for that on the premise that as a community, you will work with us. You will do whatever you can. I've had the commitment from the mayor and your councillor. I've had that commitment that you're going to do whatever you can to ensure that Porus remains a peace and tranquil community. Somewhere where we can coexist, somewhere where we can just have fun. Let me tell you something. I like round robin stay, but I have to go to a round robin in a safe space. So if you're having a round robin down here, it's a super, you know, we have a round robin down on the block. I want to be able to come in. And make sure you're coming. But I not going to come if I think say something going to happen to me. I won't be coming. So if the space is safe and you want to invite me to come and sit with you in a social setting, I certainly will come. But make the place safe. Help us to make the place safe so we can enjoy the community.
Stay with us. CVM News at 7 continues in a moment.
We are back for season 2 of Corner Office. We are highlighting small businesses, hard-working Jamaicans who are doing their own thing in their own spaces. People who are in their role, bossing up their role.
Let's go!
Let's get it! It's not if you own the company or not, it's how you own the role. Ice cream is coming. Guess what? It is your Corner Office. Season 2, bigger and better. And guess what? You don't think it's not yet? Check it out. Put the end of the place. Undercover. Easy yourself.
Rise with sunrise. Mondays are for those with a mission. We begin with a trip to France. Oui. Then it's a beginner's guide to cryptocurrency in Money Masterclass. We're off to the field for your JPL preview. Stick around, we're called to the bar in Law and Order. Then we change the pace for Bartender Week. You've never seen a sunrise quite like this.
Episode 7.
Next Gen Impact International Ministries. I want to start it that way then.
We have to
build that bridge to serve the community, maintaining some godly principles that will shift the next generation.
This is the first time we're doing an episode where the church is actually brand new.
I can't wait.
Make we head out and see what is in store.
Welcome back to CVM News at 7. Now, there's a major step forward for crime-fighting efforts in Frome, Westmoreland, as residents finally have a state-of-the-art police station after years of waiting. The new facility promises greater security and efficiency. Shantae McNeil has the details.
Jamaica's crime-fighting efforts just got a boost in Frome, Westmoreland with the opening of a brand new $200 million police station, delivered a day before its expected due date. Speaking at Thursday's handover, National Security Minister Dr. Horace Chang reaffirmed the government's commitment to enhancing public safety.
We'll ensure that the people of Jamaica will have a strong Jamaica Constable force, a force for good, that will have the right environment, legally, technically, and physically to operate in. And we look forward to bringing the homicide rates to a civilized number. Because there'll be murder. Like the good book said, poverty is all with us. Crime will all be with us, but crime at a tolerable level.
Built under the Security Ministry's Rebuild, Overhaul and Construct ROC initiative, the new facility aims to improve police efficiency and address long-standing concerns from residents. Police Commissioner Kevin Blake is urging community collaboration in the fight against crime.
This modern facility will enhance the efficiency of our police officers, improve their working conditions, and provide a more welcoming space for community engagement. I want to take this opportunity to urge community members to view this police station not just as a police station that you come and report crime, but also as a center for partnership, a center for trust and problem solving.
Minister Chang also recognized the 45% decline in major crimes in Westmoreland, commending the police for their efforts.
To look at the trend for Era 1 in particular, we see that the numbers are going down in a way that is quite remarkable. Era 1, while the trend nationally is going, if you show the line, it looks like this. The trend roll down is a steep incline, coming from a high of 41 per month. Last month, February 2025, it was 7 for the month. When you get that kind of numbers, we have to come to first.
Just last month, another $175 million police station was handed over in Lacovia, St. Elizabeth, as the government continues its relentless fight against crime. Shantae McNeil, CVM News.
Now, as water woes continue to plague several communities in Clarendon, leaving many residents with inconsistent supplies, councillors are calling on the National Water Commission to address what they see as the parish's major concerns. More from Courtney Lewis.
Councillors in Clarendon are stating their latest concerns with the National Water Commission. They say several areas in the parish are without consistent potable water.
The people of Diamond and Simon do have any water. My question to Mr. Johnson, is it that something wrong with the McPherson pump? Why 3-4 weeks now the people of Rough River has no water?
Leaking pipes are also a major concern, especially as a contributor to poor road conditions.
These are the private pipes. They are the main pipes right in front of the pump. That's the entire structure in this joint. And it's a main pipe. And I'm wondering if the persons who service that pump don't see that leak.
The Ainon Town Councillor notes that government's rural water supply program is beneficial, but many commonly used standpipes in the town are without water, causing further frustration for residents.
You can go to the standpipe and there are 9 standpipes and 9 of them put up. Right? How many times this have no water, they have to buy water. $700 jump for water, what the little white tank. $4,500 for it.
But NWC Zone Team Leader Devon Johnson blames old pipes and occasional power outages for the parish's water woes.
In my view, they have reached their tenureship in terms of their efficiency. So you fix one here, and by the time you leave, it's going to burst down the bottom there. Sometimes we have some JPSCO problem, inconsistency of power, and therefore the plant can't run unless we have the necessary voltage to run the plant.
Johnson says the NWC may not have the resources to fix every issue immediately, but assures the Commission will support councillors as necessary.
We will try to provide as much assistance as we can. Customers who are paying, they can call us for trucking of water and call in what would have called reasonable time before they need it. Because the company doesn't have all the resources to truck water into the Rockaway area.
Courtney Lewis for CVM News.
We go now to regional and international news.
We begin with news in the region. Prime Minister-designate and Minister of Energy and Energy Industry Stuart Young will be sworn into office at 10 a.m. on Monday, March 17th, during a ceremony at the President's House in St. Anne's. More from TTT News.
On Sunday, March 16th, is the last official day in office for Prime Minister Dr. Keith Rowley. On Saturday, Dr. Rowley will host the ceremony for the practical completion of the new terminal at the A&R Robinson International Airport in Tobago. And on Sunday, the People's National Movement will host a special convention at City Hall to present its 41 election candidates to the party. The Prime Minister's last public appearance will also be on Sunday, when the PNM presents the 41 candidates to the public at a mass rally at Woodford Square. In early January, Dr. Rowley announced his intention to resign from office before the end of his term, and days later named Minister Young as his successor.
Barbados's fishing industry is now on the cutting edge as a technological journey to enhance the sector begins. $100,000 in funding has been provided by Export Barbados and the Complete Caribbean Partnership Facility to support the development of a vessel monitoring platform and introduce smart scales. We hear more from CBC News Barbados.
Barbados now has 2 smart scales and a vessel monitoring system to enhance traceability, accountability, and efficiency in the seafood industry. It comes 3 months after embarking on a journey to transition the fishing industry. The scales have been placed at the Pile Bay landing site and the Bridgetown Fishing Complex. Chief Fisheries Officer Dr. Shalianne Cox says data scarcity is an issue in fisheries, and these systems will allow for much-needed records. She says this is an introduction to the mandatory vessel monitoring systems required under the new legislation.
We don't know the landings, we want to know stock sizes. So this will give us the data that we will need to be able to do fisheries management better. And one would refer to an indicator called catch per unit effort. So once we can see how long the trip was, and then we can see the areas they were fishing, then we can get an idea of if they have to put in more effort to catch more fish. And that is an indicator then that, there are other challenges. We're very aware of climate change now that the guys are fishing further. And we see that through the VMS as well, with some boats going way beyond our exclusive economic zone.
And in international news, Mark Carney has been sworn in as the new Prime Minister of Canada, ending Justin Trudeau's nearly 10-year tenure in the role. The 59-year-old ex-central banker took the oath of office on Friday. Al Jazeera with that report.
I, Mark Carney, do swear that I...
The new Canadian Prime Minister is a former governor of both the Bank of Canada and the Bank of England. Mark Carney is expected to call a general election for late April or early May, when he will present himself as the most qualified candidate to confront Donald Trump and fight a trade war.
The president is a successful business person and deal maker. We're his largest client in so many industries. Clients expect respect and working together in a proper commercial way.
At this week's G7 ministerial meeting in Quebec, the Canadian Foreign Minister had vowed to raise the trade war and Donald Trump's calls to annex Canada at every meeting she attended. And Melanie Joly says she made her position clear to the U.S. Secretary of State.
The approach when it comes to a relationship with the U.S. and through my conversation with the Secretary was we will put maximum pressure on the Americans. And meanwhile, we'll work on finding off-ramps.
Marco Rubio attempted to explain Donald Trump's motivation in imposing tariffs to the U.S.'s G7 partners.
This is about balancing and fairness and trade. So he wants to reset the baseline, and once that baseline is reset, then you can enter into bilateral negotiations with individual countries about changes that can be made to our trade.
And that's it for regional and international news.
And for Inspire Jamaica, the conclusion of our conversation on IIH, a disease which creates increased pressure inside the skull and can affect anyone, including children. The cause of this condition remains a worldwide mystery.
Reach out and touch somebody's hand. Make this world a better place if you can.
She's sick again. Every day fear head at her. She's so dramatic. Just sleep it off. It's all in your head, Alicia.
You don't look like you're sick. You know, I saw you do this yesterday. Why can't you do it today? You know, you're just faking your illness are some of the negative things that have been said to me. And it's sad, but it's just the reality, and I have to accept that not everybody will understand.
Just as it's hard to understand the ringing and buzzing sounds in the air, the verbal conclusions of others add to the frustration associated with idiopathic intracranial hypertension, IIH.
Right, because I know crying make your head hurt you more, or
I try not to, but sometimes I do cry. When I see, you know, I'm in pain, I can't get any help. Financially, I don't have the money to do these procedures immediately and I have to wait. Yeah, I do break down.
It must be difficult. Do you have to stop from work sometimes?
Oh yes, it's hard. It's a struggle to function. You know, it's like my whole life changed, and I now have to pace myself. I have to create a routine that will help me to function on a day-to-day basis. Going to work, sometimes it's hard because of the symptoms, and I push through. You know, I'm a fighter, so I try to keep up at work. A lot of times I end up in the emergency room. Sometimes if I'm able to go to work 3 days out of the week, that's a lot, but I have a supportive group in my department who understands, and you know, they want me through and they make working a little easier for me. Not everybody will understand and not everybody will sympathize, because you know, it's a lifelong condition, and not everybody is able to accept that, you know, this is who you are for the rest of your life. But
do you get to socialize? What's fun for you, apart from walking over to?
Alright, so for socializing, I don't anymore because, well, not much. I do go out sometimes, but I can't a lot because it's based on my symptoms. I don't know when my symptoms will flare up, so it just comes on at any given time, and it makes it difficult for me. And then my vision comes in play because my vision do get blurry, so I don't go out, especially at nights. If I do, I really have to have someone with me at all times.
Interestingly, it's in breaking the silence that Alicia has found compatibility.
And through sharing my journey, I've met a lot of people who have the condition and are sharing their journey. So it's the same condition, but we all experience the condition in different ways. Not everybody have headaches. Some persons just went to the ophthalmologist and they find the swelling of the optic nerve.
and that's how they get diagnosed. So I share my journey as I go along on my platform. I'm in support groups where persons share their experience. So we help each other to navigate the journey.
So far, she has traveled twice overseas for surgery.
So I went under general anesthetic, and it's the shunt is like a catheter. So the base of the catheter is in my spine, and the tube runs through my abdomen, so I pass the fluid out in my urine. In April last year, I had to get my shunt replaced because my cerebrospinal fluid pressure was still high. Currently, I am scheduled to do another lumbar puncture and then possibly another procedure, because they're testing to see if the fluid pressure is high, because I'm still severely symptomatic and I'm unable to function.
She says treatment options are different for each patient.
So medication works for some and they go into remission. Surgeries work for some, they go in remission. And for persons like me who is still severely symptomatic and still trying to find some relief to function on a normal basis. So these are persons